Hi guys, today's video is a Danganronpa print, which I'm making for ArtoCon this October. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what Danganronpa is, for those who don't know. Danganronpa is a really cool murder mystery game that was adapted into an anime about these high school kids who are trapped in this school, and they're told that to get out and to have a chance of seeing their families again and all that stuff, they have to kill each other and then get away with it to survive. So it's a really high stakes sort of murder mystery sort of thing going on, and I actually really recommend it for people who are into that kind of thing. If you're not into death and blood and all that sort of stuff, then I think you should probably give it a pass, but yeah, it's a really good game, honestly. I had a lot of fun playing it this summer, so yeah, that's pretty much why I decided to make a print. I guess to talk about the drawing process, this was done in my sketchbook as a thumbnail first. It was only about 2 inches tall or so, and then I scanned it in and printed it out at a larger size, like 8.5 by 11. Cleaned up the sketch at a larger size by hand. Then I scanned that in, did the line art digitally, and then colored it digitally as well. So it was a pretty long process, and this is only part of it. This is only the coloring process. And I wanted to show it without it being like extremely super speed, extremely sped up. So I ended up having to make this video 8 minutes long. So sorry if you like shorter videos, but yeah, I didn't want it to be super ultra fast that you couldn't even tell what was going on. So hopefully this is slowed down enough that it's understandable. But yeah, most of this process is just laying down shading and blending it out. That is basically what the entirety of digital painting is, and yeah, it's a long process. It's a somewhat slow process unless you get really, really good at it. So yeah, I'm not at that level yet, so here we are. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about the different brushes I used. I used the oil pastel brush for most of this piece, but I also used a couple brushes I downloaded. For example, in the background with the blood splatter things in bright pink, I used a splatter brush that I just downloaded off the internet for free. I really just googled splatter brush and it was one of the first results to come up, but I'll link it in the description if you want that exact brush. Other than that, and the oil pastel brush, I used some of my Adonis brushes, which I downloaded from DeviantArt a long time ago. I'll link those in the description as well. But that's where I get that sort of cloudy, smoky brush effect, as well as some of my other details, like this highlight and a couple other things that I may have forgotten about. For the background as well, I used a halftone brush that just basically, it's just a texture in brush form so that you can put down halftones in that sort of like circle, like large circles going into small circles sort of thing. That's all that is. And yeah, I used, for some of the other shading, I used my pencil brush, one of my pencil brushes, to get a sort of more speckled effect in the shading, as well as the highlights here. So yeah, that's about all the brushes I used. I'll try and remember to link down in the description every single one that I talked about. Yeah, tell me if I forgot one. But yeah. So you'll see the official art of the two characters I'm drawing, Kyoko and Makoto. You'll see the official art pop up basically throughout the entire thing. That's because I'm color picking so that I can get the exact colors of the characters. It's an easy cheat you can use in digital art where you just put a picture of whatever you're coloring and use the eyedropper tool to get the exact color you need. It's just an easy way to get exact colors that, you know, in traditional art you can't do, but I figured even though it is kind of cheating, like in order to get accuracy, I used that trick. So yeah, that's why you'll see the characters pop up every now and then, like now. So yeah, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the characters themselves. My favorite characters from Danganronpa are Chihiro, Kyoko, and Sakura. but Chihiro and Sakura aren't really main characters, so it wouldn't really make sense to do a print of just my favorite characters. Prints are usually more like poster kind of images of whatever fandom or thing you're doing a picture of, so you know, to have a poster without the main characters is kind of weird unless you're doing something like all the girls or all the guys or, you know, every single character. For this one, though, I decided to have the two kind of main characters, I guess. Like, the closest things to main characters in this game are Makoto and Kyoko, so that's why I chose to draw them. So I'm trying a little bit of colored line art here. I don't do it everywhere, but I did do it somewhere just to see how it would work. I'm not sure if that was a good idea or if the effect was just pointless, because you can't really tell at such a large size anyway that the line art is colored. So, oh well, it might have been just a little bit of extra work, but maybe not. And as always, I like to do the eyes last. This time I left Monokuma's eye as well as Makoto and Kyoko's eyes for the end, and I'm glad I did that. Monokuma is also a character. I forgot to mention him at the beginning, but he's also a character I drew for this piece because he is the main villain. But yeah, it was really fun doing Monokuma's eye, trying to make it like really crazy and also mechanical looking as well. I think I did a pretty good job making it look like it does in game while also having it a little bit of my own style in there. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, how that part turned out. And yeah, here I am just going in, fixing up a little bit of the line art. I planned to paint over all of the line art, but then I was starting to realize that that would take a really long time, and also I don't think it would have been worth it because at such a large size the line art was going to be really small anyway and not really interfering with the rest of the painting. So I just kind of went over some of the parts that were kind of more small and detailed, like little metallic buttons and stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, I left it alone. And yeah, here I am, just finishing up their eyes. I tried to go with the style of the anime rather than how I would normally draw eyes, because I think the style of the anime and the game is just really recognizable. And to change that kind of changes how the characters are recognizable, like, I guess. Like, the characters aren't really them without this kind of eye, in my opinion, so that's why I decided to do that. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say, so I'm going to leave you with the rest of the footage, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!